Kymco CVR5. Now Kymco announcements don't always come to fruition or make their way to good old Blighty, but I hope this one will. Classed as Kymco's first adventure scooter, the CVR5 is going to be powered by a 427cc single-cylinder engine kicking out 34 horsepower and 40 nanometers of torque. Kymco has chosen not to utilize the 550cc engine from the AK 550 or the CV3. Potentially this has been done as a cost-cutting measure, but this decision will probably disappoint a few. Whereas the DTX series was a maxi with a little bit of off-road styling added, the CVR5 from Kymco looks to be designed purely as an adventure scooter, which as you know was started and has been dominated by Honda with the XADV and ADV. The styling of CVR5 gives a look of a Husqvarna Norden after it had a few too many Big Macs and been stretched into maxi scooter dimensions, but I don't mind it, to be honest. Italjet Dragster 700. Now it is worth not getting too carried away on this one, as history tends to tell us new dragsters don't always release according to plan. At EICMA 2023, Italjet unleashed the planned Dragster 559 Twin upon the world, and now a year later at EICMA 2024 the planned 559 has been binned in favor of a 692cc liquid-cooled engine pumping out 68 horsepower Italian ponies and 70 Newton-meters of torque, projected for a spring or summer 2025 release. The spec is pretty impressive, however. The factory limited edition version is a collaboration of a who's who in the motorcycle components industry. Akrapovic exhaust, Brembo brakes, Öhlins suspension, Pirelli tires along with Marzocchi and DBK. There isn't a thing in the world of motorcycles that is anything like the Italjet Dragster 700. With its premium components, unique hyper-aggressive design and exclusivity, it will be interesting to see how the Dragster performs. The standard version is likely to be priced in the £11,000 plus ballpark, and the all-singing and dancing factory limited edition version is currently listed on their site at €14,490. Honda COVALENTS1 H350i. In at 8. We have this neat little offering from Honda. Now as large scooters go, the Shish 350 isn't hugely popular in the UK quite like other EU countries, but nonetheless, it is a worthy mention in today's list. The typically more slimline, big-wheeled, European-styled city commuter is offering that little something different compared to the maxi scooters in this market, which are wider and bulkier. The Shish is really about being nimble and agile around town. With updated styling and all-new LED lighting, I actually think the changes are positive, with the front looking a little more muscular, especially in the matte rock gray colorway. I think it gives the Shish 350 a decent bit of modernization. A job well done by the Italian design team at the Atessa factory. The single-cylinder 330cc liquid engine remains the same, kicking out 29 horsepower and 5 nanometers of torque, and you should expect the normal levels of decent fuel efficiency. There have been some fundamental changes to help get it through Euro 5 Plus by the looks of it, with an updated AQ, muffler internals, catalyzer, along with changes to the sensors. Lambretta J125. So for the purist, I'll do the obligatory mention that we all know this isn't a true Lambretta in the sense of it being from an Italian-owned Innocenti. However, under its current ownership, the Lambretta brand has celebrated 60 years of the J model, with the announcement of the J125 Starwave model. With visuals not too dissimilar from the already available V-Series scooters, the J-Series to me isn't a bad-looking scooter. Though I appreciate that might draw outrage from many who disagree, coming in at 135 kilograms with a 790mm seat height. In previous years, I have gotten excited for the announcements of the X300 and G350 from Lambretta, only for these to sadly not materialize on UK shores. The big impact of the press photos is the aesthetics of the J-Series. With its bright baby blue colorway, dark elements and gray seat, it is quite distinctive. With Lambretta stating the fact that it has taken inspiration from beach culture, you can see the subtleties of this. Yamaha T-Max Tech Max. Long adorned with the title of King of the Maxi Scooters, The premium T-Max and T-Max Tech Max have been updated for 2025. For this entry, I'll be sticking to the T-Max Tech Max, as that is the only version we'll be getting in the UK. So what has changed to this big boy sports scooter? Firstly, the Yamaha designers have been busy giving the T-Max revised styling, with a sharper front end, new dual-eye headlights, rider assist upgrades, and an improved dash. Yamaha has also given the T-Max a new brake control system, which is essentially cornering ABS to help minimize brake slip during hard braking or moments of low grip. A new 7-inch TFT dash can be found with 3 screen layouts to choose between, and you'll get full Garmin navigation free of charge in the UK too. The 560cc 2-cylinder engine and exhaust have been updated to help get the T-Max through Euro 5+. Honda PCX. The PCX is a hugely dependable and popular 125cc commuter scooter, and 2025 sees it having some pretty big changes in an attempt to help keep the best-selling 125cc scooter going, though Yamaha is doing their best to challenge this. There have been improvements to the design, with most people probably noticing the new LED headlight and front fairing first. But the PCX typical stylistic features remain, though the once exposed metal handlebars are now encased by plastics, as is commonplace on most scooters. This was a point of contention from Brett's review back in 2022. Another point raised in Brett's review is the rear drum brake. Well, good news is that has been replaced by a 220mm rear disc brake with what looks like now dual ABS, as opposed to single front ABS, some pretty decent updates. Onto the engine, and that ESP Plus motor will remain unchanged, still putting out 12 3 horsepower and 11 7 nanometers of torque.